Welcome to your doom.
Kick it. All right. Kick me.
I almost did. I realized I put too much work in setting this shit up. I didn't want to. What's up, folks? This is Justin.
This is Atul.
And we are the Welcome to Your Doom harbingers. Harbingees? Harbigees.
I can't stop staring at your shorts now. It's so distracting. You look like
Why?
you have aggressively pissed yourself. Like that's what your shorts look like. You look. I did the biggest double take just now when I looked down, looking at your crotch area, as you do. And there it is. It looks like you've wet yourself.
It's this, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
there's-
It's not just like wet yourself now. Like you've done it and you just haven't cleaned it for
me
fucking
see.
weeks.
I don't know if
it's
going to show up.
Here, get a little thrusting going on there. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
There's like stitching that goes like this way.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's funny. I've worn, so these aren't shorts I typically wear. You know what these shorts are for?
Painting.
Pissing
in.
There's probably paint on them.
Yeah.
But also travel. It's my
Okay.
These are legitimately my travel shorts. And they drive Nisha fucking bananas.
Yeah.
She does
yeah.
not like these shorts because
No.
they look like a dirty man's
Yeah,
shorts.
you look like the homeless guy who chills outside of a sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this movie that we're about to review. That's who you look like with those shorts on.
So anyways,
He wants one more.
you know what though? These shorts are really good because they have so many pockets and there's zippers and
Oh,
places
my
you would see.
God.
They're great.
They're dirty Liefeld shorts.
Yeah.
They're dirty Rob Liefeld shorts. That's
They
what
really are.
Yeah.
But you know what,
pockets
like-
and satchels and
I
belts
remember.
and-
So one of these kind of became the travel shorts when we were in where were we? Somewhere in Southeast Asia when we were doing our trip, right? And there was one time, like they were pretty loosey goosey about when we were traveling in terms of like weight restrictions and this and that.
Yeah.
One time we got held up in, I want to say it was in Thailand.
Yeah.
At either an airport or wherever it was, but
Yeah.
they're like, you cannot travel with the amount of weight that you have in your suitcase.
You cannot travel with those shorts.
With those
on.
shorts. No. Well, that's the catch.
Yeah.
Is they're like, we basically had nowhere to put this stuff.
Oh.
My shorts look
Oh,
like I was
stop.
carrying a baby in each pocket.
So fuck.
I just
so
shoved
ridiculous.
stuff in there. Hey man, we're like,
That's so
we're broke at the
ridiculous.
time. I guess we were post working, but like, yeah, we're not trying to spend money on stuff.
So you just packed your pockets.
Packed
full
it full.
Packed it
Packed it.
real nice.
Packed it real nice. So we're doing this mid-October, and
Yeah, that's right. We're right in the spooky season.
the spooky season, and like we've been, yeah, I'd say like the pace at which I personally have been able to like watch movies has
Yeah.
been increased, which is nice.
Yeah, that is good.
I've actually been focusing on it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Because like for me, actually like putting forward time to do that's like a conscious decision. Like I've got to make sure that I'm making time for it, otherwise I'll never do it.
Yeah. I was feeling that way myself too. So
Yeah.
normally I do more. I start, but this time I haven't been able to get in as many in.
Yeah.
But I got some new ones in that I haven't seen. There's some that I want to watch that I haven't seen before. So
okay.
that's why I'm trying to put in some new ones. But what have you?
It's ones that
on.
I'd seen a while ago that I hadn't, and it wasn't. I know you kind of like gravitate towards more the fall stuff.
Yeah.
I just go with horror movies because
Yeah.
I don't really watch them, and I'm
Yeah.
generally pretty like, I don't know, I'm pretty vanilla. I'm not as adventurous as you are, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
But
you should see some of the friends I have. If I'm adventurous, these guys are from another planet.
Fucking
But
animals.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
no, but I'm just the last one I watched today was actually because it was on Netflix was the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, the remake.
The remake,
Nice.
yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's awful.
No, it looks great.
It does look good.
I think that the face paint that they put on it was like, it was a nice overhaul. It was a nice updating.
It's a
of it.
very sleek. Like it's a very
Sleek.
Platinum Dunes, Michael Bay produced
Yes.
horror film.
Yeah.
There's very slick. I think I've only seen it maybe once or maybe twice. Like
Yeah.
long time ago though. Yeah, it is. And who plays?
Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah.
Who I feel like should be doing more stuff. I've seen him in like 3 movies that I can think of, and 2 of them,
Watchmen, Nightmare.
and the RoboCop remake.
Yeah, I was just about to say RoboCop,
Yeah.
but I feel like he's been in other stuff that he's been really good
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But he's always playing just like a
He's a dick.
He's either like a crazy asshole or
Yeah.
just like a real bad person.
Yeah.
He's like Richard Brake. I don't know if you recognize the name. If you look up Richard Brake right now, you will recognize this guy's shit-eating grin.
Richard Brake?
Brake, like Brake. And
I know exactly. Okay, so speaking of horror movies that I've seen recently,
Yeah.
Halloween 2.
Oh,
Rob Zombie.
Rob
He
Zombie's
was
Halloween 2.
The most disgusting person you've ever seen.
He's like,
And I knew his face from somewhere else. I also just watched Doom.
oh, I watched Doom,
Yeah.
not like this year, maybe like a couple years ago. I rewatched it, and he dies on the shitter, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's forever cast as like a sleazy, evil person.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the guy. And it's funny because I saw him. Now, I don't want to. He's also in Barbarian for a little bit. And I'm watching Barbarian, he shows up. I'm like, that guy is about to fuck some shit up. He's not a good person.
Yeah.
Like, even though they tried, like the movie tries to frame it a certain way, he shows up, he's cast specifically for a reason. And that reason is never good. And you cannot, it's like, Jack Nicholson was already crazy at, like they cast Jack Nicholson in The Shining. They're like, he kind of looks like, it's basically that. It's like you catch Richard Brake in anything, he is an evil sleazebag.
Yeah.
Dirtbag. He's always, and the fact that he's also in like Rob Zombie's H2, that's like a dirtbag to the power of dirtbag.
Yes.
Like that's like infinite, like the perpetual dirtbag machine where they're just like ramping it up to like crazy levels.
Yeah.
So not only is he just a dirtbag in every movie he's in, whether it's an art film or a comedy or whatever, if he's in a Rob Zombie movie, it's
not good.
You're in another dimension at that point. You've broken the fourth wall of dirtbagness. And that movie is so sleazy.
It's bad.
It's
bad.
It's not bad.
It's bad.
just
it's bad. I'm gonna say it's bad.
Oh,
it's
you don't
bad.
like H2? You don't like his sequel?
No. I liked the opening. I liked the hospital stuff.
I can't. Oh man, I can barely remember.
It's very it's very visceral, very violent. But as obviously it's a Rob Zombie
so
film.
violent.
But everything else it was just trauma and trauma and trauma and trauma and dirtbags and trauma.
It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
No, it's not.
It's just
But none of Rob Zombie's movies are pleasant.
I know.
I haven't seen. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say none of them are pleasant. I've seen Halloween, his Halloween, and his Halloween 2. I've seen A House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
I've not seen
Three from Hell.
Three from Hell, which is supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
And I've not seen that one. But
there was a third one though, wasn't there?
There was Three from Hell and then Firefly something.
No.
Is that what they're called, the Firefly family? Or
I don't think so. Hold on. I am curious now.
He's had a few, and I kind of just more of I like
The Devil's Rejects.
No, sorry. So Devil's Rejects was the second one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Three from Hell was,
I think it was middle of the road.
That was the third one.
Yeah.
Right?
And then a lot of people shit on the Munsters.
I see. I haven't seen the Munsters
seen it either.
either.
I liked the Munsters not growing up. It was before my time, but my parents introduced it to me.
Right.
And I was generally interested in it. I just didn't look like a lot of people were into it.
No. I might give it a watch.
I'll give it a whirl.
Anyway, sorry, H2. So you don't really like H2.
There wasn't a lot of like, I don't know. It just didn't have there was no fun factor to it. Right.
Yeah.
The first Halloween, I felt like there was a little bit of fun factor in that it was kind of new.
Yeah.
They retreaded on some of the stuff that they did in the original Halloween in a little bit, maybe more stylish way, or stylized is a better way to put it, maybe not stylish. The first half of the movie is a little harder to get through.
Yeah.
But it's different, and it's just a different take on the character. And I was like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that bugs me the most is they transformed Laurie Strode into such a, I don't want to say not likable character, but I didn't like her.
Yeah. You didn't like her.
And I think like that's what he was going for, is that she is very, very damaged, right? I had nobody to root for.
Yeah.
And not only that, Michael just... I was thinking about this earlier, and this is going to get into our main topic of Halloween Ends, but I find with these horror movies, right, you either are watching it because the villain or the bad guy or the monster, whatever it is so physically imposing that it's, the stuff about him that they're doing is very interesting to watch, for one reason or another. Be it brutal, be it surprising, be it comical, because obviously, like, you look at, like, any of the Nightmare films, or, like, the way that even, like, the kills and the dramatized kills around, like, Friday the 13th and all these other films, that's the fun factor of it. Like, it kind of gets fun, but you have kind of there's a fear to whatever those villains are, or you go the opposite direction, like a Chucky, or what was the Chucky, like, I forgot what the Megan, even Leprechaun to some degree. Like, they're so silly, but it's fun. Like, it's comedic.
They're all just, like, really small.
They're really small, but really funny.
Cute.
Yeah, kind of cute. But it's like there's a different type of entertainment value.
For sure, yeah.
But the problem with the Halloween films, like, the first one hooks me just because of my hook to the original, right?
Like Rob Zombie's Halloween,
first,
like his remake.
Yeah. I like that one because it really does try and tie into the original one, and I guess I just like the new paint job on it,
Yeah.
And it gets me. I'm not going to claim that it's the best film of all time. It certainly isn't. But Halloween 2 doesn't grab me in that same way. I've never really connected with the second Halloween film with, like the original second one.
Yeah.
So it didn't have those hooks in it. And I just found Michael was just kind of lurking around in the background. Nothing seemed scary.
Yeah.
Like, there was no, like, I don't know, it just felt brutal. And none of the other characters were likable. It was just hard to get through the movie. And by the time I got to the end, I'm like, what's this fucking horse doing here? I just, like, it just took, like, it
Is it a horse or is it a unicorn?
It's a fucking...
Is it a unicorn?
Well, isn't a unicorn a horse? Or is a horse a unicorn? I guess
look, a unicorn is a horse.
It's a magical horse with a horn.
Right. Yeah, a unicorn is I guess a unicorn is a horse, but a horse is not a...
A horse is not a unicorn.
Correct. Yeah. So, but isn't it a unicorn though? Does it have a horn?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I feel like maybe I'm just putting that in my head because in my head now it has wings. Like, it's a lot. Like, it's getting more fantastical by the minute as I'm thinking about it. But that is kind of the state of mind that when I remember that movie, I just remember its visual language was completely different than, like, every other movie that came before it. I kind of understand what you're saying. These aren't pleasant films. Like, and H2 in particular is so sleazy and skeezy. And it's just, I feel like that's Zombie's kind of brand.
Yeah, sure.
So I kind of expected that when I went in, but he really turns it up. Like, there's a bathroom scene in that, I think. And it's just, like, gross. Like, everything about it is gross. And there's even that guy, he's in, like, 30 Days of Night. He's in the bearded dude from Sons of Anarchy. Big bearded guy.
John Boom.
He's in it.
John, I can't remember.
He's been in a lot, too.
We met him. Me and Nisha met him. Like,
no way.
Yeah, TIFF. He was somewhere. He was really nice.
Yeah, but he's got a very recognizable gait and face.
Yeah.
He's in it. Like, so there's it's just reminded me of another guy who's basically in the bucket with Richard Brake and who else were we talking about? Who was the first guy that we were talking about that was always cast as a sleazy villain?
Oh shit.
Oh my God, we're early onset dementia at this point. This was minutes ago.
Oh my God. It'll come to me.
So anyway, the other guy is the guy from Sons of Anarchy with the big green eyes. He's just like a total psychopath.
Yeah.
And he looks like that in every movie, and I can't remember his name. But when he's cast in a movie, he is up to no good.
Usually,
he is something for sure.
Yeah.
Like, somebody is getting assaulted.
Which, ironically, he was not that guy in Sons.
Was he not? I thought he was weird. Like, he had a weird necrophilia thing, didn't he, or something?
No, you're thinking of that was what's his name? That was the other guy, the Canadian guy, something Coates, Kim Coates.
That's who I'm talking about.
He's not in H2O. You're thinking
No,
of
no, no.
Boone.
Sorry. I just went on a little tangent here. Like, I'm
Yes,
H2.
that's who you're. Yeah, okay.
Kim Coates. That's
Jesus
his name.
Christ.
Sorry, I am all over the place.
Yeah.
But Kim Coates. The thing is, when you talk about H2, it just brings to mind all of these really sleazy white actors. I can think of. That's all I can think of. Like when I think of Rob Zombie, I just think of Kim Coates, Richard Brake, and whoever it was that we were talking about just before that. Like these guys, you see their faces, like, oh, you are a dirtbag.
Yeah.
And it's just like Kim Coates is that guy. And when I see him in interviews being a normal person, I can't get my mind around the fact that this is all an act.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a mask on right now, and it's the mask of a normal person.
Yeah.
But you can't walk around looking like that and be normal. You know, at that point, I've seen him in too many roles where he's just grotesque.
Yeah.
That it's ruined my image of him. I'm sure if I met him in person, I'd.
And I also just remembered we got there from Jackie Earle Haley.
Jackie Earle Haley is like another guy.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more prestige with Jackie Earle Haley.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah, it's not to say that these guys are not good actors. They're good actors. They
do their job very well.
They convinced me that they're awful people. Yeah. So yeah, they're doing their jobs. But I guess there's, I don't know why in my mind there's a little bit of prestige with Jackie Earle Haley. Maybe it's the Watchmen connection.
Maybe.
It's certainly not the RoboCop connection, although I do enjoy that remake. Probably a topic for another time.
Yeah. Move your mic a little closer.
Okay,
sir. Just a smidge.
All right.
Smidges is how we get the
I
job
move
done.
a lot when I
you're
talk.
Fine. That's why I told you, keep you honest. But yeah, that's basically like I've just been basically like binging sleazy, or not sleazy, what am I saying, horror. Jesus Christ. I've been
watching porn this whole time.
I've been just watching porn as often as I can, and
Adult
it's been
films.
good. It's been really good. Halloween themed ones especially. It's been like horror movies on Netflix or wherever I can find it on the streaming services. It's just
easy to be able to click it and go.
But I'm also like it. I can put them on my phone and do stuff in the house. Like it's, there's only so much free time I have.
Yeah.
But if I have a little, like if I'm doing something benign or something that's like kind of brainless,
like washing the dishes, like
putting
like clothes away.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite things at this age, and this is how I know I'm old, is that I like to fold laundry and watch something at the same time. That's actually like something I look forward to.
Yeah.
In a very strange, weird.
When you leave, I have a lot of laundry to do. I'm so excited because I'm going to put on so much porn.
Yeah. It's starring Richard Brake,
oh my God.
Kim Coates,
oh my
and Jackie Earle Haley.
Nobody's
Oscar-nominated Jackie Earle Haley. I don't think he has an Oscar nomination, but he would be the closest one to.
He would. He probably would.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh man, we've taken
that is disgusting.
Some rough tangents so far.
That's what the the movie's called. Rough Tangents. You snorted. Wow.
You know what?
That was a snort.
In my older age, man, I have somehow developed a snort while I laughed, and I don't know where it came from. It's like, okay, here's some growing old shit, okay? Yeah. Snorting, I snort when I laugh.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where that came from. You know what else? I cry so much at movies now.
Oh, do you?
I don't know. I used to never cry about movies, and there's a reason
really
I'm telling
funny.
you this. I used to never cry at movies ever.
Yeah.
Nothing would shake me. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Now there are certain movies that the waterworks come out.
Yeah.
And you want to know one that just recently?
Oh my
happened?
God! I want to know.
So Neha is my daughter. Yeah. We were talking about something. I think we were talking about Halloween costumes, and she was talking about Supergirl, and I don't know where I just went Superman.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
She's like, don't say it like that. I go, Superman. And I kept on saying it that way. She's like, why are you saying it like that? Or stop saying it. I'm like, it's from a movie called The Iron Giant. She's like, Iron Giant's a bad guy? I'm like, no, he's a good guy. Here, let me show you. This is where he says it. And then I turn on the Superman thing.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, oh, dude, that gets me, man.
Before he takes off, I'm just like... And I'm trying to hide it from Neha because I'm like, you don't need to see me bawling my eyes out because I'm horribly unstable now. Like, but I'm just there just... fucking streaming tears.
You're just connected to your emotions now. The way
just
you were
gets
before.
me. I don't know what it is. There's certain movies that it just gets me.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's
hard.
that's an odd thing you say, because that movie has made me cry since I first watched it.
Yeah.
On VHS, like way back when. So that's nothing new. I sort of expected that one. I thought you were gonna say like Ninja Turtles or something.
No.
Like something where it's just like the most like a little piece of drama happens and you're just like dabbing your eyes.
I'm not gonna lie. There are some movies that I probably shouldn't, and it still chokes me up. And I'm like, hold it together. Atul is next to me. like you want to know?
We're watching Rough Tangent together, and you just start crying. I'm like, don't be weird, man.
What's one of the last movies we saw in the theater? Like, it was
The Flash. I mean, that had a pretty dramatic ending. Yeah,
maybe something.
And that got me too. I didn't quite get to that point, but like it got me. Yeah. But yeah, so
don't get old.
Don't
kids.
get old.
Don't get old.
You
kids.
start crying and snorting.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, no, I've been watching some stuff. I did see a new movie that just came out, directed by David Slade. Also has a connection to what we're talking about, because I just mentioned 30 Days of Night. He's the guy that directed that.
Yeah.
He directed a movie called Hard Candy. Which is really good, with Patrick Wilson and Juno, I think, the actress who played Juno, who is now dude.
Page?
Transition.
Something Page?
It was Elliot Page.
Elliot Page, yes.
Okay. So David Slade, great visual style. He's directed a few episodes of Hannibal, which is a fantastic show if you guys haven't seen it. It's amazing that was on network television, like totally crazy. So anyway, he directed this new movie called Dark Harvest, based on a novella that I've read, and it's not very good. I didn't think the novella was very good, but it has a great cover.
Yeah.
And I just like read it because the cover was so good and the concept was really neat. And I think the movie is better than the book, but it looks great. I think the strongest part of the movie is that it looks really good.
Yeah.
The plot makes just very little sense. Yeah. It's a good idea. It's just that the way they tell the story is that I'm a guy who likes, and this will come up in our talk about Halloween Ends. Like I let the movie set the rules. Yeah. And set them to whatever you want, but once you've set them, kind of follow through with them. Yeah. Like follow 100%. Through with your own rules, right?
I still call that the shoot 'em out. The shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em up
the
with
shoot
Clive
'em up.
Owen.
Yeah, the shoot 'em up
Monica
rule.
Bellucci. Oh, she's...
First minute in the movie, he kills a man with a carrot. I'm like, well, all right, what else you got?
Yeah, that's right.
I know where we are now, and it didn't deviate.
That's right. Yeah. See, that is a good example. Yeah. This movie is like it sets up this really neat idea, but you find yourself asking questions. I don't want to ruin too much about it, but basically, it's a small town where a ritual happens every Halloween. Have you seen the trailer for this movie?
I don't think I have. What's it called again?
Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest.
It's on Prime. It's free. Check it. I would say check it out. It's worth checking out, and it's new and it looks good. It's like I said, David Slade, like a good stylistic director, and it's got some neat visuals and a great monster in it.
Okay.
Like, great monster effects. That really does save the movie, and the atmosphere is good. It's about a small town in which a ritual takes place every Halloween, where basically Sawtooth Jack is a kind of like a walking 7-foot tall pumpkin man, essentially rises from the crops and tries to make it to the church, and all the kids have to go out and kill him, and there's like no rules. It's like it's almost full on purge style, like purge night, except it's like Halloween. So it's like really, really kind of mashing these two, like Halloween and the purge kind of vibes you're getting from the movie, but it does set the atmosphere really well. Yeah. Like I said, the practical effects on the monster are fantastic. So that would be the reason to see it, just like the visuals and stuff. It takes place in the 50s, which is really jarring when you kind of watch it. It's very it's shot so modern, so modern, because Slade's style is very modern. Yeah. But everyone's saying and dressed in a certain way, and they're talking in a certain way where you're just like, oh yeah, I remember. I forgot. It's the 50s. So, but it's I'd say it's worth checking out. It's just the plot is the plot is a little it's full of holes. So riddled with holes.
That's fine.
But yeah, for the effects and like watching a new movie based on Halloween is actually, I'm gonna gobble that shit up no matter what. Of course I'm gonna go, because like a lot of movies are horror, but like you said, I focus on the autumnal stuff, like the stuff that takes place this season. So having another movie kind of take place at this time of year, it's good. It's well funded and, like I said, shot really well. So it's not like a throwaway Halloween film.
It's funny you mentioned 30 Days a Night too, because that was one, I think it was last night, I specifically was looking for it.
Oh, is it?
Couldn't find it anywhere on streaming, and I don't own it, so I didn't have it.
Yeah,
so
that's a good one. I enjoy that.
That's
cool.
Movie.
It's a cool movie.
I think it looks
Josh
great.
Hartnett, baby. I'm Team Hartnett all the way. I love his resurgence in films recently. He's been in a few movies, and in particular, he's been in
Halloween H2O. To take it back.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll come back because we do have a movie to review. But there is one question I want to ask you.
Lay it on me.
How's the PS5?
I do not own one.
You do.
I knew you were going to ask me.
You do. You do own one. Listen, everyone. I'd like to tell you a short story, and this story is very short, and I'm going to try and keep it very short. When Mortal Kombat X came out, it was the first game that came out as an exclusive to the PS4 that. Essentially, I already had a PS4, and we both were waiting to play this game. Mortal Kombat X. Game comes out. Justin doesn't have a PS4 yet. He is on vacation somewhere. I'm in New York City. I'm living there at the time. I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy this game, but I'm not really going to play that much. I'm just going to play a little bit so that when he comes to visit me after his vacation, we're going to get drunk and play this game for the first time together.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that day comes. He shows up. He arrives. Boot the game up. And I jump in. And I remember I was Kotal Khan. And you were Kano.
Kano, yeah.
Okay. And we played. And like I said, I hadn't played as Kotal. I didn't really play all that much. And you're doing things. You fucking dummied me in the game. You just dummied me, right? And I'm like, oh, he must, like, you're a good gamer. Like you can pick stuff up very quickly. So I wasn't totally like blown away by that.
Yeah.
So you dummied me. The thing that was the thing that was shocking to me and that gave everything away was when the finish him line came on for the fatality, and I'm in the middle of explaining to you, I'm kind of like, if you hit pause, then you hit the bumper, you can go find the fatality for Kano and punch it in. And in the middle of me telling you to pause it to look up the fatality, you did the fatality from memory. And I just sat there for a few seconds and I was like, How is that possible that you would know how to do Kano's fatality in this game? And I turned to look at you, and you had the same shit-eating grin on your face that you do now.
I think your exact words were, "You've played this game before, haven't you?" Not only have I played it, I've owned it for the last 2 months.
You such a piece of shit. Yeah, so you bought the system.
I bought the system. Well, I didn't buy the system. I couldn't for some reason. I can't remember what it was, but I actually asked my brother, Mike, shout out to you. This is the story.
Fuck you, Mike.
And we...
accomplice.
I think, if I recall, I'm pretty sure he was the one that bought it for me and then held on to it until I got back. Because I think that was the other thing is, like, if I'm going to buy it, I can get it to my house in, like, a couple days. Yeah. But I don't want a PlayStation sitting out in front of my house.
Right, yeah.
So I think he held it. I honestly can't remember the specifics. It was so long ago. But I practiced for a bunch just for that moment. And then after that, it was on. Because then who did you pick after Kotal? Who was your main at that time?
At that time, oh shit, I can't remember now. Who was Kenji maybe?
No,
it wasn't Kenji.
I'd have to look at the MKX roster.
Shinnok I used a lot, but I don't think we had him at the time.
Shang Tsung? No. I'd have to look at the roster.
That's gonna come to me later.
Yeah,
because I can't remember.
But yeah, it was so well, it was so well planned. Everything went down exactly as I wanted it. It was pretty great.
It was a moment.
It was a big moment. But that being said, now I didn't realize it has generally affected our relationship as friends. And I want to tell you, I'm glad that you brought this up because I want to tell the people at home. I'm not doing that this time. I don't own a PlayStation 5.
You do. It's sitting here.
It's not.
It's in here.
You can go
it's
through
in here
my house.
Somewhere.
It's not anywhere here.
It is here. Last time I saw you, I basically just assumed you had it. I was like, he can't go. He's playing PlayStation 5. He's playing MK1 right now. That bastard.
I don't have it. I
You
swear
do.
to God.
It's around here.
I swear to God.
It's around here. I'm not even going to look for it.
The funny thing is...
You're a sick man.
The funny thing is I legitimately thought about doing this again.
Because you were on vacation again. You were on vacation when MK1 came out again.
It did.
It's the exact same scenario.
The same scenario. But I promise you, man, I'm not doing it this time. I wouldn't do that to you.
You did it already,
Jason. No, I didn't. I'm not doing that this time. I promise. I'm not. I honestly am not. I wouldn't do this.
Anyway, so MK1 is out. Came out to pretty good reviews. So I'm excited about grabbing that game.
I'm looking at this roster list. I forgot how much I fucking love this game. Like,
oh yeah,
Ferrator. Yeah. Jason.
Ferrator. Oh, you're doing an MKX.
Yeah. I loved playing as Ferrator. They were a lot of fun. I wasn't great with them.
I used to use Predator. Was that
Predator?
Was that
that's
MK?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
That was
Predator
MK.
was in there.
X, yeah.
Leatherface. Fuck. There was somebody. Maybe it was Predator. I think you made.
I made Predator
later.
Yeah.
Predator letter. Bo Raicho. Fuck, man, this was a good game. Good roster.
Bo Raicho just throwing up all over the place. Yeah, so MK1 is out. So real quick before we jump in, I had a bunch of people over for Friday the 13th, which is really cool because Friday the 13th in the middle of October, it's kind of nice, keeps that. Although Friday the 13th in the summer is nice because it's got that summer camp vibe. Yeah. But so I had a bunch of people over at the house. Set up the movie outside, had a little fire pit going, and set up some hot cider outside. It was nice to just have people over. You brought cigars. You guys brought cigars over, and it was just like really, really fun. I just ran parts Friday the 13th, part 2, 3, and 4 in the background. So I just ran them in the background, and we stopped to kind of watch certain scenes. Namely, I really did. We all kind of stopped to watch Friday the 13th part 3, where he shoots the harpoon gun into the girl's eye, which is it's a pretty great shot, and literally. And in part 4, Crispin Glover dancing.
Oh my
was
God!
Like a thing that I rewound.
As well, you should if you haven't seen it, because I hadn't seen it at that point. I've only watched a few of the Friday the 13th. The fourth one I don't think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
So that was crazy pants. Like his dancing, literally crazy pants.
Yeah, he was like, I just can't believe he didn't give himself like serious whiplash. Like he was moving like he got tased.
Yeah.
That's what he was like. He was just getting tased every few seconds.
You could put in digital squibs and it would work. And just have it cut to like Al Capone going
with the Tommy gun.
Yeah. And it would be like spot on.
So we watched those were kind of in the background. We're kind of in and out. We had great snacks provided by a good friend of mine, Andrea. She came by and like
changed my life.
Yeah, dude, like the popcorn with
M&Ms.
what was M&Ms but it was the other one. It was the Maltesers in the top.
Yeah.
And I was always like, they sink to the bottom. She's like, that's why you just do it on the top once. Everyone takes a little bit in the little paper bowls that I had.
Yeah.
And then she relayered them.
Yeah.
Again, I'm like, that's okay. This is dedication right now. This is really
top tier snack distribution.
So it was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and then we smoked the cigars, and then people started leaving close to like 12 midnight, just after midnight, and then we threw on Freddy vs. Jason and watched that actually kind of like properly. We watched it outside, and that's always a fun movie. It's a crowd pleaser, man. There's nothing. That movie is entertaining, and I think the best part of that movie is Jason in the cornfield. I think seriously, when he gets set on fire and he's just chopping people up left, right. It's a really long, like I was saying, I was watching the special features for that really long burn that they had on that guy, and I think there was like a big deal for how long that guy was on fire, and he was acting at the same time, and he had to hit his marks and slash people while he was on fire.
Yeah.
Even like the stunts in that movie are so great. Ronnie Yu is the director, and he's kind of like that Asian influence, like action director. If you watch his previous movie Versus, it's a martial arts film.
Versus? Who's
it's called Versus. It's just I don't know who's in it, but it's like a Hong Kong kind of like martial arts film. Yeah. Gotcha. So he brings that to this. People are flying around on wires.
For sure.
It's a bit Matrixy sometimes, but like that was just a sign of the times.
That's fine.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. So that was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a very good time. It was nice to just like chill out in the back.
Yeah.
Stogies. Everybody left early. I was like, what the fuck is everybody going?
Yeah, like
It was like
close to midnight,
just before midnight.
Yeah. I think folks started filing out. Yeah. But that just meant we can like watch whatever the hell we wanted to watch, right?
Exactly. It's
So
like, all right,
people,
let's put on something stupid.
yeah. We do need to continue our tradition of when someone shows up, it's like, oh, you haven't seen a Halloween movie, and showing them the worst one in existence.
Yeah.
We've done that twice now, and I think people really enjoy that. And by that I mean they're just like, I can't believe you guys.
Why have you done this to me?
Why are you watching this? Yeah. We did Halloween Resurrection and Halloween 6.
Which arguably the wrong. You know what else would be an interesting conversation would be like ranking the Halloween movies.
Yeah, we can rank them. I'd like to just talk about them even just one at a time. Okay, so we got to get to this movie.
Yeah.
So
34 minutes in. Let's
Let's
get to the meat and potatoes.
Let's do it.
We'll do turkey.
Okay. Normally I have some stupid line to go here, but instead of giving you some dumb line to lead into the review for this movie,
God. He's gonna get me.
I just want to read you a quote.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to read you a quote. You know, you need to find someone that can let go. That makes you want to rip off your shirt, show grief your fucking tits, and say, you know what? Let's go. This is Halloween Ends. I shit you not, that is a line from this movie.
I fucking hated that line.
And then it just randomly cuts away from her to another scene.
No, it cuts away to her throwing pumpkin guts on the floor. On her floor.
Oh.
Like an animal. Like, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You have to clean that up. Laurie.
You know what? Pumpkin guts really get flung around in this movie a lot.
They do. Yeah.
That's definitely a moment for that. Yeah. Okay, so Halloween Ends came out last year, and in our tradition, we have decided to review this movie exactly a year after it's come out, almost exactly a year to the month. Let's say that it's come out. We did Halloween Kills last year, which came out the year before that.
Yep.
And so now we're on Halloween Ends. And what can I say about this movie? Halloween. I can say that the last two Halloween movies have definitely earned their titles.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills has an insane body count.
Yeah.
Okay. Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's I think a compliment. How do I feel about this movie? I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate the movie.
Yeah.
I like again, it's same with Halloween Kills. I like the ideas that are planted into this movie.
Yeah.
But the execution is so insane. It's like almost exactly the same thing as Kills. Like this idea in Kills that, you know, fear and like evil is infectious.
Yeah.
Right? It's cool. That's great. Great idea. And how like it gets people to act crazy and do horrible things.
Yeah.
The execution is completely off the wall, cartoonish, right? And then you get to Halloween Kills, which is like, okay, now evil can be created, right?
Yeah.
When they don't have one thing to fear, they'll project onto someone else, and they can, like, a town can, like, it can live in a town and infect it over a long period of time, and like it's great concept.
Yeah.
The execution is insane.
Yeah.
It's totally insane.
Yeah.
But because I do like the idea. I like the fact that they swung. They took went for something different.
Yes.
They took a shot at it.
Yeah.
And I will not be rewatching this movie as many times as I'll be rewatching Halloween Kills. Out of the three movies, I watch Halloween Kills the most. It's so much fun. That movie is like so entertaining. Yeah. This movie has an interesting idea.
Yeah.
A crazy execution.
Yeah.
But is not nearly as fun.
There's
nothing really fun about this movie.
Yeah.
And the way that Halloween Kills is fun, which kind of like pushes it over that. Okay, it's not a good movie, but I have a lot of fun with it. This one is like it's a good idea. They swung. I think it's all the execution. The idea is good.
Yeah.
The execution is what it's just like if they just streamline some of this stuff. went honestly a more pedestrian route.
Yeah.
With some of these plot points, I feel like you would have a better movie.
Yes.
But David Gordon Green is just so quirky.
Yeah.
He's so quirky, and there's so much quirk just like fucking injected into this movie.
Yeah.
And same with Halloween Kills, but it's way more entertaining. So that's kind of my general feelings on the movie.
So you kind of hit on something that I brought up earlier in that this movie doesn't have any of the stuff that draws me to a horror movie. Because to your point, like Halloween Kills, the fucking fireman scene.
Oh, yeah.
The scene at the end where it's the whole town versus him. Like
beating the
those
shit out of him.
big action scenes or those
those
big,
are fun.
scary, brutal, like that kind of stuff is kind of fun to watch in that context. This movie I found to be a roller coaster of emotions in terms of what I liked and
Crying
what I
in
didn't
this movie
like.
too?
No, I didn't cry at this one. But like, it's funny. Like, I remember coming out of it when we watched it together a year ago, and
we went to the theater.
We went to theater for
this.
that one.
Yeah.
I had Unicron in my trunk. I remember having Unicron in my trunk.
Okay.
Anyway,
we got to tell everyone Unicron is a transformer.
Yeah, sorry.
Not a person.
Not a person. Yeah, Unicron was a very, very large Transformers toy that I had to borrow
size
my
of a
parents.
person.
Yeah,
But-
a small person.
Yeah.
Chucky.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, tangent.
Yeah.
But I remember coming out of it and not liking the film, like just not
me
being
too,
happy. Maybe not liking it, but like not being happy about it. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to put it. Is that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And watching this one, rewatching it, I went through a roller coaster of emotions because at first I was like, oh, this is way better than I remember. And then it went back to, oh, I remember what I didn't like. And then that's kind of where I lived from the rest of it. Because to your point, like, it was a very slow kind. And I mean, this is the whole point of the film. You mentioned evil infecting, right?
Yeah.
Like, the town, like Halloween Kills, like in terms of kind of the themes, right? Is like Halloween 2018 kind of brought back what the original Halloween did, where the murderer's on the loose and it's very surgical in terms of who it's really affecting.
Right.
Like, there's some stuff that happens to the town, but really all the trauma is like happening in small spurts. Halloween Kills, everybody is kind of traumatized by what happened to some degree. And, you know, Michael gets out or whatever.
Halloween Kills. He gets out of the basement.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then that's what it is. So 2018, I guess the town was kind of silently traumatized from the original.
Yes.
2018 surgically like brought him back in and, you know, focused his efforts on certain place. But then Halloween Kills was the town was becoming aware of what was happening, and then that evil started infecting everybody else.
Yeah.
And you
Fear.
get the fear, mob mentality, no
Yes.
trust, etc.
Yeah.
And just no thinking.
Spreads.
And
Great
then,
idea, man.
A great idea, absolutely.
Yeah.
This one was more about just letting that wound fester.
Exactly. That's
right?
a great way of putting it.
And,
That's a great way of putting it.
You know, it continues to fester, and then they focus in on this Corey Cunningham. Cunningham?
Maybe.
Sounds right. Yeah, Cunningham. They kind of focus on, you know, just one specific target. Like, everybody is just kind of fucked up by what happened.
Yeah.
But it's kind of all funneling into him in some regard.
Which I think that part of the movie is really cool.
It's an
interesting idea.
Yeah.
And they have multiple times they kind of say it. I think it's not particularly subtle because they literally have people saying what the theme is.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's neither here nor there. I think it's a good idea, but they basically do say, someone says, I think his mom says, it's like, when your boogeyman went, he's talking to Jamie Lee Curtis. When your boogeyman went away, the town needed to find someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else to put their fear and doubt and, on.
Yeah.
And Corey was perfect because of the accident that happened. So I think that stuff's really cool. I think there's half of a really pretty good movie here.
Yes.
Like, I actually think that there is half of a good movie. And I think it's like the first half.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me to say because the first half doesn't really have any Michael in it.
No.
So yeah, I do think that there's like half a good movie with those ideas.
Yeah.
But then there is a weird betrayal of character here with Laurie, which I think is such a hard turn.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we jump in?
Yeah.
To the movie and just talk about the plot, and then we'll kind of like roll through. So, Halloween Kills, if you don't recall, ends with Michael fighting a mob of neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
Getting knocked down and then miraculously getting back up and killing the entire neighborhood watch. And then at the end of the movie, and I think this might be my fault and not the filmmaker's fault, the reason there was a betrayal of character of Laurie in Halloween Ends might be because the version of Halloween Kills that I watch is the director's cut with the new ending. There's a different ending, and I forgot about this. So I believe that in the theater, the theatrical cut for Halloween Kills, the end of the movie ends with Michael killing Laurie's daughter.
Yes.
Looking at the window in his room, and the movie ends. Movie ends.
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't seen this.
I haven't seen. You're blowing my fucking mind right now.
There's in the Halloween Kills DVD, like the Blu-ray, the 4K that I've got. It's got an alternate. It has an extended cut, which includes a different ending.
Yeah.
The end of the end of this extended cut is that exactly that thing happens. Laurie is in the hospital. Her daughter calls her. She sees her on the phone, and it's her daughter on the phone. Picks up the phone, hears the heavy breathing. We'll call back to the first movie, right? And realizes that her daughter is dead. That Michael has killed her. Gets out, pulls all the stuff out from the hospital, like all the IV and all that stuff, grabs a knife, and is walking down the hall with the knife, and the movie ends with a zoom in on the knife. Like she's going after Michael. She's going to go fuck Michael up, right? That's the version of the movie that I've seen since I've owned it, and I've seen it several times.
Yeah.
When this movie starts...
Yeah.
It's so anyway, so we'll get to that in a minute because like Laurie is presented as being kind of like a home mom now and like kind of a little more happy-go-lucky, has decided to put that behind her. It's just, I mean, incongruous with the extended ending, but that extended ending is not the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut, I believe, ends just with Michael looking in the window
through the mirror or the window. Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure of that because I can't. I've only seen that cut once. I saw that one in the theater.
To be fair, though, that's not your fault. They've spent 2 movies building up Laurie to be essentially fucking Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they take this hard right turn.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any sense.
That's it, and that one was tough to watch. I was in the theater and I was like, what is happening now?
It's just that I think that was like, I mean, we're kind of going off the topics of or the plot, but like that was the thing that bothered me the most about this film, I think, was that like the other movie setup was kind of setting things up in a certain way. And I mean, you do get that epic finale or that final bout between the two of them, but it just doesn't feel right.
But we've done it already. That's the other problem.
That's the other thing too. That's a very good point.
We've done that already.
Yeah.
So jumping back to the plot,
do it.
Because I want to say something nice about this movie.
Yeah.
This first scene is fucking wicked.
It's so good.
I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And it takes place. So this whole movie, this first scene actually takes place on the night of Halloween Kills in Halloween 2018. Same night, I think, right?
Yes.
And buddy, what's his name? Corey
Cunningham.
Yeah, Corey Cunningham shows up at a house to babysit. And basically, there's a very long dialogue scene between the mom and him, and like it's very like built up, like Scream style.
Yeah.
Like this is like there's a build going on with this first scene that I'm like, what's gonna happen here? And then they play the kid. The kid is a total jerk.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, and this is one of the things I say about this movie all the time is like, how would you feel about Halloween Ends? Jeremy fucking deserved what he got.
Yes,
Jeremy absolutely deserved what he got.
Jeremy,
it wasn't an accident.
He's the real villain of this film.
That's true. That's true. Jeremy is the name of the kid that Corey is babysitting. They play hide and seek. Jeremy locks him in the attic.
He doesn't play hide and seek.
He just
the kid
disappears.
just straight up disappears and does weird shit like moves a knife and puts it up the stairs and starts making sounds and
starts yelling and screaming. And I don't know if I didn't notice this the first time I saw it, but when I saw it at home I noticed that you could see him in the background.
Oh,
like,
really?
There's parts of like where he's just running in the background, like the shadow is like moving.
Oh,
you don't see him; you see shadows and stuff in the background.
Okay,
I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that the first time I'd seen it. So he follows the sounds up the stairs. There's a knife on the staircase. Like he is ready to believe that something awful has happened to this kid. He goes into the attic, and the kid turns around. Is on the other side of the hallway, tricked him into going in there, closes the door, locks it, and is yelling at him, "Are you afraid of the dark, Corey? Are you afraid of the dark?" And Corey's starting to freak out in this like weird attic space.
Yeah.
At the same time, the parents are coming home from their Halloween party.
Yeah.
coming through. They are at the top of the stairs. Parents at the bottom of the stairs coming through. Corey's kicking the door down. Parents walk in. Corey breaks the door. The door comes flying open, hits Jeremy, this kid.
Yeah.
He goes over the banister and drops 3 floors.
Yeah.
And hits the ground with a very gratifying splat. It's a very
gratifying.
It's so gratifying. When he hits the floor, I was fist pumping in the theater. I'm like, fuck that kid, because he absolutely deserved it. Parents obviously freak out, and that's how this movie starts. With this crazy accident.
Yeah.
And then the movie jumps forward 4 years, and that's where we get homemaker Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, who has made it a point to get over her trauma and she's doing a voiceover and she's writing a book. And to be, to be the mom that she wasn't before to her granddaughter. So this was, so I loved the first scene. Then we got to Laurie and I was like, oh, this is weird. Like you said, she went from kind of like Sarah Connor to like homemaker Jamie Lee, homemaker Laurie. So she still lives in Haddonfield, which kind of fucking blows my mind. But Michael, the shape, has disappeared. After that night of Halloween Kills in Halloween 2018, he is completely gone and has disappeared for the last 4 years. And everyone's just like, I guess he's gone. Everything goes back to normal. It's just kind of silly. Like, this whole thing doesn't make any sense. Especially since she prepared for 35 years or whatever. I don't know when from the first Halloween to Halloween 2018, she prepared that whole time for him coming back. This guy kills her daughter. And now she's like, oh, you know what? We got to get over this, right? Like, it just seems very strange.
100%. I couldn't get on board with that. I mean, she was such a brazen, almost out of her mind, not almost out of her mind, completely out of her mind, heroine. But there was something there that was at least entertaining and had you on the edge of your seat that you wanted to see more of. And until you got a little bit of that throughout the movie, as she kind of slowly goes back to her old ways, she was so uncomfortable. Like, to your point, the fucking stupid line that she says.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's just, there was a lot of that. Or like trying to like play matchmaker with Allison and Corey.
Which also just like really strange things that...
A lot of very strange choices to try and... See, that's the problem. So I'd say like this opening scene, not only was it like a really good, shocking kind of like, it ramped up the suspense and, it's making you very tense, and then turns out to be it's this little shit kid. But then all of a sudden that levity of tension all of a sudden turned right on its head, and now you've got this kid at the bottom of the stairs. It was just like, whoa, I thought we were cool. And but the thing is, they spent that chunk of the movie making Corey feel like a likable character. Like you kind of latch onto him. Which then throughout the rest of the movie made it, I always found I felt like the movie was trying very hard to make you not like Corey, or
interesting.
I mean, not like Corey, but like it just felt like it was like, we're just gonna keep doing this to him. Like it just felt like the movie had it out for him. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like it felt mean-spirited by the movie. Like they're like, we're gonna fuck with this guy. And it was like, it just didn't feel organic. Like what happened to him, how he got to where it was, it just felt very forced.
So Laurie has been living for 4 years, like we were saying, has essentially gotten over it, is being a mom to her granddaughter. And Corey is still in the city as well, working at his father's junkyard. And he's obviously a bit of a pariah in the community, especially after what happened. Even after 4 years have passed, people still recognize him on the street, being like that crazy kid that crazy person who he was like 21, now he's 25, who killed
the kid.
This kid. And every movie like this got to have a bully scene, right? And here is like this is like a David Gordon Green thing. Like, these just can't be your run-of-the-mill bullies.
No.
They've got to be... Are they going to be jocks? I'm glad they're not jocks, Do we need a bully scene? I don't know. I think we could have done something a little different here. If we're going to have a bully scene, let's have a fucking bully scene, right? These kids show up at a gas station that he's at. They ask him to buy beer. He does not want to do it. One of them recognizes him, and they recognizes him as the guy that killed the kid 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I shit you not. If you've not seen this movie, these bullies are in a marching band. They are marching band bullies.
I repressed that. I didn't even realize that.
It's the first thing I noticed.
I
think one of them's still in their marching band gear when they show up. And I'm just like, what? You know, if they came up and they were jocks, I'd kind of just be like, oh, like, this is just really tired, you know?
Yeah.
So I give David Gordon Green and the writers, you know, props for really switching it up here, right? So
and you know what? They cast people that look like they're in a fucking
that's the other
band.
that's the issue, because Corey is fucking way bigger than all these guys. You see him, he's got some muscle on him.
Yeah.
And
he's not a small dude.
No, and he's so much bigger than this guy that's pushing him around.
Yeah. The guy pushing him around is like discount David Frank, or what's the
brother?
The
James
brother.
Franco.
Dave
Franco.
Franco.
Dave
Yeah.
Franco.
He looks like budget Dave Franco.
Yes.
If
Tiny
he
Dave
was
Franco.
dehydrated and shrunk a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, I'm like, these guys? Really?
Oh, it's so funny.
And that's more examples of like the movie just forcing you, like, yeah, look at this. He's really getting tormented by these guys. I'm like, these guys? These guys.
And you know, it just, like I said, I feel like it's David Gordon Green's like indie sensibility, comedic sensibilities coming out. They're popping up, they're rearing their heads in like weird ways.
Yeah.
And it's just strange, and it's incongruous with like the movie that I think he's trying to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the marching band bullies that bully him. He gets a piece of glass. Like one of them pushes him. I swear, like he barely moves.
Yeah.
Like it's just so ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
He's so much bigger than they are. He gets a piece of glass in there. Laurie comes and sort of saves him, and connects with him in a way. Is like, oh, I see that, you know. She says, what, you're the freak show and I'm the psycho or something like that?
Something like that,
yeah. Something like that. So they have a connection in that there's a traumatic past going on there.
Of course.
They're pariahs of this community that they live in.
Yeah.
And then they put a hole in this guy. They slash this guy's tires, which is always fun.
Oh,
she takes him to the hospital or the clinic, and her granddaughter works there, and she does it on purpose because she sees this Corey kid. She's like, oh, he's good looking. Let me take her to this particular clinic. And Corey and what's her name?
Allison.
Yeah. Laurie's granddaughter meet, and they kind of hit it off.
Yeah.
In a weird kind of strange way.
Inorganic. It just everything
strange.
just went from 0 to 60 for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I don't know. It's these weird character choices that come out of nowhere, because Allison never struck me as like she came on hard here, like way hard.
Yeah.
Corey was way more timid about this whole relationship. She just comes on super hard.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel organic. It's just like, I don't know, just didn't buy it. Like, it's just more of the movie trying to force something with this Corey guy.
Yeah. Having said all that, I actually think the actor who plays Corey does a decent job. I think
not bad.
He's
it's
not bad
his
in this
fault
movie
at all.
And it's weird. I looked him up.
Yeah.
He hasn't really gotten too much work after that, which is awful because it's a weird like life and imitating art thing. I think a lot of people hated this guy when this movie came out.
Yeah.
So, and I think I'm just speculating here. I'm not in the business at all, but like, I think this is like what's his name situation.
Brandon Routh?
No. Who played Anakin Skywalker, the kid?
Oh, Hayden
Panettiere.
No, that's not.
I wish
Christensen.
Hayden Panettiere played Anakin. I'd watch way more Star Wars, that's for sure. But Hayden Christensen, or even in the original, like episode 1, Jake, the kid.
Yeah.
Or the guy who played Jar Jar Binks, like, you know, he
that
left the limelight because of what people were saying about him. So I feel like this movie is one of those things where they like people look and they jeer because. In case it's not apparent, we haven't talked about Michael Myers because he's not in the movie.
In this fucking movie.
I love very much.
Yeah.
And it's this Corey guy. It's his story. So the Corey story. So I think he does what he can with the material. I think he's pretty good.
I think he's great. I think
he's not. I think he would be good in other roles. It's weird that he hasn't gotten like too many other roles, these secondary characters or anything.
Could be him movies. Too. Maybe he just didn't have a good experience with this. I mean, it's literally tough shoes to fill. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, look at the past of the Halloween films. I think the most unsuccessful one. Financially, I think at least, or reception-wise at the time, was Halloween 3, and that was because Michael Myers wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And then after that, they pivoted hard. Now it's such a focus on him, right?
Oh, we missed one thing. So you just reminded me, because Halloween 3, the one shout out to Halloween 3 this movie has is Season of the Witch, is the credits, the title card.
Oh, yeah.
It's blue font. It's the exact same font as Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
And I think the credit sequence in this is fantastic. I really did. The pumpkins like growing within other pumpkins, and it leads into the theme of this like evil starts small, it's a seed and it can grow, and it's like and it takes over. And it keeps growing and it comes back and it comes back again, and it's different, and its form is different, its shape is different. And I'm like, oh, what a brilliant fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like I love the credit sequence in Halloween Kills, and I love the credit sequence in this movie. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But where did we leave off?
So now they're kind of together, and she invites him out to a Halloween party at the bar.
Yeah.
And they go to the bar, and I guess it's the first time he's been out. He doesn't really go out, and
he didn't realize he was stepping into like a fucking a Rob Zombie-esque party.
Yeah, that was.
It felt very Rob Zombie-esque.
Yes, it was a lot of colored lights, a lot of like strobe lights, a lot of dancing, a lot of dancing, but like the music was very like grungy. But I thought that was a pretty good scene. I like him coming out and like taking his mask off, finally smiling a little bit. You could feel that this guy, again, I feel like the actor's done a good job of like making you feel like, oh, he's like hasn't been out in a long time because people recognize him everywhere. And in the middle of his good time, he runs in to the mother of Jeremy.
The real villain of the story. If there's nothing else I want to do is hammer home how much I do not like Jeremy.
Jeremy deserved it. He is the seed of evil.
Yeah.
He's so his mom is there and she yells, she talks to him, and like he gets freaked out. He leaves the party.
Yeah.
And when he's leaving the party, he gets he gets jumped by the marching band quartet.
So terrifying.
So they pop out, and it's just I can't. They are all smaller than he is. It's just silly. And he's got a knife. So it's like,
that's right.
He's even got a knife. He holds it up. He's like, stay away.
Yeah.
And they still fuck his shit up. Throw him over the railing. He ends up under the bridge.
Yeah.
And here's where
we take a trip to Crazy Town.
It gets real weird here. Okay, it gets real weird. I watched this movie and I forgot what the sequence of events were here. But as I was watching it now, like 2 days ago, I was like, oh, they just kind of do it. He's lying there. He's unconscious.
Yeah.
Someone starts dragging him away.
Yeah.
He gets dragged into a sewer underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
And he's left there.
Yes.
Until he regains consciousness. He wakes up in this weird place. He's like, this is weird. And he sees the way out. Yeah. He starts walking towards the way out. And on the way out, Michael Myers, who has been hiding, apparently, in this sewer for 4 years, reaches out from a crevasse.
Yeah.
Okay. And starts choking him.
Yes.
And I'm explaining this in great detail because I don't understand what the hell is happening right now, right?
No.
Michael's holding him, and he's doing this thing where he's looking into Michael's eyes. Yeah. And there's a reflection in Corey's eyes, and Michael's eyes, and they show a lot of that, and he's getting choked. But then Michael lets him go.
Yeah.
And he leaves. Then he, as soon as he leaves, the homeless guy shows up, and he says something. I don't know what he says. He's barely making it. This guy's from a Rob Zombie film.
Yeah.
This guy is from Rough Tangents for sure, right? So he shows up, and he's like, says something to the effect of, "I've seen him take other people before.
Yeah.
They don't come out. Why did you come out? Why did you come out? Why did he let you live?
Yeah.
Get me the mask."
Yeah.
He says, "You got to go get me the mask." And then he pulls a knife on Corey, and he tries to stab him. Then Corey grabs a knife and stabs him multiple times. So now Corey is, within like 3 minutes, shit has gotten very, very strange and very, very real.
Yeah.
What did you think of this whole thing when you watched it? Like,
so
what are you thinking here? What's going through your head?
Okay, so I'll take it back a little bit too to Halloween Kills, right?
Yeah.
There was kind of the whole mysticism, maybe is the wrong word, but I'll use that anyway. You'll probably pick up what I'm saying around like what was the meaning of Michael looking in that window?
Yeah,
like, what is this all about? Maybe it's going to explain a little bit about what he is, and this movie just drops it completely,
entirely.
And then on top of that, they have him go and live in a sewer for 4 years, and now all of a sudden he's able to infect people with evil, literally. He can touch them, and they just go wah, and all of a sudden memories start flowing in, and this and that. Like it's
they have a like Corey has this memory flashback.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is even watching it now? I'm like, what are they what are we getting at?
What are we doing
Is like
here?
Michael seeing these memories?
Yeah.
And is Michael being like, oh, this is the guy?
Yeah. And like I understand, like I am guilty of this, of being like I want the movie to explain everything to me. Like I don't want to think too hard.
Yeah.
But like I don't mind thinking about it a little bit, and then there are times where I will catch myself saying that and being like, shut up.
Yeah, just let it
just
go.
do a little bit of thinking.
Yeah.
This one I feel justified in being like, what the fuck is going on here? Don't make me figure this shit out.
So I just chalk it up to exactly what you said. While it was happening, I'm like, oh, he's transferring his evil. It's literally infectious.
Yeah.
And he's transferring it, or Michael sees in him the same way Laurie sees in him later, that he is capable of great like evil.
Yeah.
So Michael sees it, maybe lets him go because he realizes that maybe it's not mystical, maybe it's literally like trying to read someone. So Michael read him, right? But that doesn't explain why Michael grabbed him by the legs, dragged him into the sewer, and just
take a nap.
It just stood around and waited for him, and then
You stay here. That bearded guy's outside. Keeps asking for my mask. Tell him to go away. It's my sewer. Get out of here, you.
Yeah, exactly. And he drags him in there, lets him take a nap. On his way out, reaches out and starts choking him, like from a weird crevasse area where he can't really reach through. So I'm like, did you want to kill this guy? Did you not want to kill this guy? Why are you choking him? You could have just choked him before, you know, having full sort of leverage rather than reaching from this weird place. And this is the kind of where I find myself asking these mechanical questions, and that's when I feel a movie hasn't followed its own rules.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
It set up its own rules, and that's not even to say that this whole mystery that they set up in Halloween Kills, it's completely dropped.
Yeah.
And I also disliked that very much because I liked what they were doing, what they were building up to in Halloween Kills, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's not even a thematic payoff.
Yeah.
To that.
This is the equivalent of Luke Skywalker throwing that lightsaber away right at the beginning of The Last Jedi.
Not even close.
Basically the same thing.
Not even close.
Anyways, we'll agree to disagree. We'll disagree to agree on that one.
What? Anyway, so he comes out. He has this weird experience with Michael.
Yeah.
And then what happens in the movie? He kind of he goes
back to Laurie.
He goes back to Laurie's house, and he's doing the thing where he stands by the tree.
Stands by the tree. Couldn't find laundry, so he stood by a tree. He's like, the leaves will do. Michael Myers was in the background somewhere there too, though. Like he was kind of stalking Corey at Laurie's house.
Later. You don't see him in that scene.
I thought it was in that scene. Maybe not. You might be right. But she
was
notices.
During the day.
Yeah. And then she went outside. He sneaks up on her.
Yeah.
And gets scared.
Yeah.
And then he basically goes to Laurie and said, I killed somebody, and was,
No, not Laurie.
Sorry, Allison. And then goes to Allison, tells him the whole story, and then they're trying to get a deeper connection, and then that's like that goes over to when they're in the diner, and then he and her meet that sleazy cop that was like her ex-boyfriend or something that.
That's right.
And
he gets up and he stands up for himself.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
And it's weird because this cop is bigger than the marching band quartet.
Yeah.
And
not
it's just
afraid
weird.
of them.
But I mean, thematically, this all makes sense. Maybe he's starting slowly becoming more unhinged, and he's defending himself, and he's changing.
Yes,
which makes sense. It's just the physicality doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
So a thing to point out before is that when Laurie sees him outside the window, it is like a moment from the original Halloween. And she sees him there, and she's starting to recognize that he's changed. Something's changed about him. And so he ends up going out to dinner with her granddaughter, Allison, and they meet this guy, like you said, and he leaves and he goes. This cop is following him.
Yeah, he's following
and
him.
he follows him to the bridge,
sewers.
the underpass.
Yeah.
And again, this is another part that I find very sort of strange and mechanically doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because let's just say he knew he was following him. It's fine. He's gonna, he's gonna kill him. That's also weirdly fine with what they have set up.
Yeah.
But he's like giggling and laughing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's very weird. Also,
it's like he's toying with him. He's like, ha 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 ha. And then he's like runs and it's just like, what do we... Has he gone full crazy already? But he's been so morose.
It's been less than a day,
Yeah.
and then why is he going back to the sewer all of a sudden? Like, that's the problem. Like, they introduced this memory, the mind meld, the Michael Myers mind meld, and then
mind meld, the M4.
But yeah, they do that, and then all of a sudden, like, is he just changed? If so, why is he bothering with Allison? Like, it's just that
it's calculated. That's the problem with this. There's no self-defense. Like, he knew the cop was following him.
Yeah.
He led him there to kill him.
Oh, fair. Yeah, okay.
Like, I think that it's premeditated. Like, he knew.
I thought he
didn't
just
show
back
up
for a hang. It's like...
He's like,
the homeless guy was telling me about your mask. Can I see it?
We'll get to that in a minute because that's a funny scene too. But yeah, I think that he comes back to the underpass same day too.
Same day.
It's the same day. It's the evening.
Yeah.
The previous evening,
not
he
even
got
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he brought him there to kill him, which is the part that again, it's all happening very fast.
Yeah.
The first one was a self-defense kill. Now he's leading this guy to his death on purpose.
Yeah.
He attacks him, draws him into the sewer. And it's clear something's wrong with Michael.
Yeah. He's tired.
That's the other thing. Michael is full on geriatric, like tired, homeless dude.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
He can barely stand. He doesn't have the strength. And to be honest, for me, I really did enjoy that. There's something about, because it's so different. Mm-hmm. And I loved the idea of seeing Michael tired. Like he's wasting away.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, oh, this is cool. I wonder what they'll do with this. And they do some fun stuff in this, like this scene where he brings the cop in and basically beats the cop up, holds him and says to Michael, tell me how you do it. Now it's just like a protege, like Padawan thing. Yeah. And Michael stabs him repeatedly and he's like, yeah, that's pretty much how I thought.
Yeah.
It would work. So you stab, you go up and down, or do you go like, it's funny. It's like, show me how to do it. And he stabs him. I'm like, I think I could have figured that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now, and it seems like Michael's standing up straighter.
Yeah, he is.
He's like a vampire who's just like fed, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's weird and interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the scene I guess he just walks out of the sewer.
Yeah. That's all he needed was one.
Yeah, he just needed one, right? And now he walks out, and what does he do? What does he do now? He
goes back. They're talking about burning burning the world down.
Yes.
And then meanwhile, Laurie is keyed in at this point that he is completely unstable, and she has that conversation with him at the boy's house, Jeremy's house.
Yes. So she finds him
villain.
at Jeremy the Real Villain. That's his like Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Jeremy the Real Villain's old house, which is dilapidated.
Yeah.
And he's sleeping on the spot where Jeremy fell and was killed.
Yeah.
And her entrance here is actually pretty cool. Like she's just leaning in the rocking chair.
The rocking chair.
It was
a normal chair.
Hitting
it. Yeah.
And against the wall. And they have this conversation where she's like, you're not good for her. Whatever it is you have going on, she's not ready for this relationship. And she's like, you introduced us. And I'm like, yeah, you introduced them. Like, what do you...
Listen here, bitch.
Yeah, it's just like, seriously, all your fault.
Yeah.
And she does the Batman vanishing thing later in the conversation. So it was kind of fun. But she recognizes what's happening. She saw something in his eyes.
Yeah.
Same way Michael did. So there is maybe a thematic thing with the eyes, right? Like, here.
She did mention the eyes explicitly. You're right.
And then we get, what do we get now? Like she leaves and they talk about burning the world down, burn it all down or something like that. Him and Allison.
Yeah.
And Allison is working for her boss, who gave a promotion to another girl in the office, and they're having an affair.
Right.
So it was this is a Harvey Weinstein like situation. So the boss comes home. You know, obviously Corey is aware that this is happening at the work because Allison has told him what's happening. He kills the boss.
Yes.
In a clown mask. So he's been wearing a scarecrow mask. Yeah, he's been wearing a scarecrow mask.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What?
Sorry, I forgot about the shot in the bar when he's wearing that scarecrow mask when they go out the night before and he's dancing or whatever. And what's his name? The guy who played Michael Myers in the original
Nick Castle.
Nick Castle has got a cameo where he's like, "Hey, Scarecrow." Opens his jacket like he's about to flash him, and it's like a bunch of blood and guts. He's like, "See anything you like?" And I'm like, that was random. Wow.
I didn't even realize that was Nick Castle.
That was definitely Nick Castle, who's also an accomplished director. He directed
I think I knew this.
He directed Star. It's a science fiction. Why can't I think the name? I love this movie.
Star Wars?
No. No, the one where the kid's playing the arcade machine and gets beamed up to a real ship.
Starfighter?
Last Starfighter.
Last Starfighter.
Yeah, anyway. So. Oh, rough tangents. Where were we? So
I can hear that beard scratching. Yeah, okay. Sorry, didn't want you to hear the beard grooming, the grooming section of this this conversation, or the grooming.
Oh, anyway, so he's in the middle of this kill scene with the boss. Kills him good. He kills him real good.
Kills him good and proper.
He tries to get into the house.
Yeah.
The woman closes the door, and Michael is in the house.
Oh, he sure is.
So now it's a double team.
Yeah.
And Michael kills her by pinning her to the wall, similar to a victim from the first film.
Yep.
And then it's kind of like this Thelma and Louise situation we got going on here. And then it cuts away. So now he's full on killing, like seeking people out and killing them at this point.
I want to call something out that bothered me in that scene. There's a shot of Corey taking his blood-smeared hand.
Oh, yes.
Putting it up against the glass.
Takes his bandage off.
Takes his bandage off, puts his blood-smeared hand up on the glass, and seemingly walks away.
Yes.
He's a convicted... Was he convicted?
It was an accident. They know he did it, though.
They know he did it, but I'm sure he was fingerprinted.
Yeah.
How incompetent are these cops? Maybe they didn't find the body. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Which body?
The bodies of the people that they murdered.
I don't know. At this
because
point,
what I'm saying is, if there was even a slight investigation, it would have been like, oh, it's fucking Corey. His hand's right here.
Yeah, no, these movies, so much blood is spilt everywhere, and it does happen over a short period of time.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if anyone's phoned anything in at that point.
I don't know.
People disappearing or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not like one of those.
The neighbor sees it happen, like, oh, fuck. Oh, it's Halloween.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine. Someone will find it.
Which, there's another nice thing they do is with Laurie, because Laurie can't be happy either, because she meets the old sheriff not the sheriff, like was he sheriff? I think.
He was...
Captain or something.
Yeah, he was something. Yeah.
And they have like a nice moment in the
cherry blossoms.
Cherry blossoms, yeah. In the grocery store. And when she comes out, she's confronted by a woman who you don't recognize. And she says, "Look what your boogeyman did to my sister." And she points to the lady from Halloween Kills who lived.
Who should not have lived.
That is crazy to me.
Do you
that
think
she
they planned
lived.
that? It was funny that you mentioned that, because I remember watching and being like, "There's no goddamn way they planned that." There was a whole halogen tube.
That's right.
All the way in her carotid artery, splurting blood.
Oh yeah,
the size of a fucking one of those tubes. And you're telling me she lived?
She lived.
Like,
Halloween lives. She's Halloween lives.
It just, that to me, I was just like, no way. Like, how is she still here?
I did think it was a nice callback, though.
It was a nice callback, and it did kind of like it really did like hammer home that she is that pariah.
Yeah,
I never use that word. It's a good word. The pariah of that town. That a lot of people still blame her for everything that happened there, even though really not her fault.
Yeah, it's not. But
It
they
wasn't her
need
fault
someone
at all.
they need someone to blame.
Yeah.
Like the way she says it, she's like, "You antagonized that man when you should have left him alone."
Yeah.
And maybe some of that is maybe it's true because she was obsessed. She thought she was after him.
Yeah.
He was after her.
Yeah.
He was after her the whole time. And I love that part of the second movie where they're like, how do you know? You don't know that he's after you. He's just random. It's
Sartain or whatever.
It's just pure circumstance. Sartain was orchestrating that whole thing and getting him to you.
Yeah.
And it's just circumstance.
Yeah.
He is just random. He is chaos.
Like he's chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I did like that moment, and it makes me think that Corey and her can have that connection because she can't be happy either. Right.
Yeah.
Like she's recognized as being that person who brought evil to their town.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't.
She
right.
really didn't.
So yeah. So now we get to the point where Corey is basically saying that he's. What does he say? He does something where he's like, we need to leave now.
Yeah.
Leave town. And Allison is at work saying like, I can meet you later.
Yeah.
Fine. So Corey sets up this big kill box in the junkyard and he lures the what do you call it? The marching band quartet bullies to this junkyard, which I thought was a pretty fun scene. I remember it being more fun in the theater than it actually was. I thought there was a little more to it. Yeah. Because one of the guys gets killed off screen, kind of. Yeah. But that one girl gets run over with the barbed wire. Yeah, that was pretty bad because she's stuck there for a little while. Yeah. And one girl gets her head caved in with a hammer. Yeah. And the real tragedy here is that his stepfather comes out. Yeah. And recognizes like, Corey, like, what are you doing here? And the one, Dave Franco knockoff shoots him in the head by mistake. Yeah. And it was a cool shot because he shoots him. Corey's staying behind him. Yeah. Father comes up in front, gets shot in the head, and when he drops dead, Corey's gone. It's neat. Yeah. And he ends up killing because when he's like trying to save the girl underneath the thing, it's a good moment. He's what does he say? He's like, "Oh, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die." Right. And she's looking behind him. She's like, "But you are." Yeah. Or something like that.
Or you're dead too. Or
you're
something
dead
like
too.
That.
Yeah, you're dead too. Yeah. And Corey, what Corey does to him is great. The blowtorch,
the welding torch
to the mouth.
Yeah. Slightly off camera, but enough that you can see the effect. Focus, it was really neat. Out of focus. Yeah. Yes, that's what I meant.
Really
to say.
Cool. Yeah. Really well done. And then he just steps on this girl's face. Yeah. The last girl that's pinned underneath the fence. Yeah. So he wastes all of these guys. And we skipped one moment. Before this, he marches right into Michael Myers' sewer without knocking. Yeah. And he's like, "You got something I want." And he starts pushing him around and they start struggling, fighting. Yeah. One side of the camera, other side of the camera. And he like knocks Michael Myers down and he takes his fucking mask and he walks out.
And a day and a half ago, he was intimidated by marching band guys that are 5 foot nothing. And he goes into this 7 foot tall behemoth's lair under a bridge in the sewer where he eats things that are probably not actual food. Yes. And he beats them up.
Yeah, he just
come here, yeah.
He really
give me that mask, yeah.
He comes in and just roughs him up. Yeah, he just roughs Michael Myers up.
A little roughhousing.
Yeah, and I was like, Bray was watching it. I was like, that's another really strange, like, off-putting choice.
I would have liked to keep that because the scarecrow mask. The scarecrow mask was genuinely creepy, and the duality was great too.
I thought like working together was interesting, but then
they threw that away after very little time.
They had a falling out. Yeah. And it's very strange. As much as I like seeing Michael in that weird wasted away state, which is cool. Yeah. I don't know if I like seeing him just get like roughed up by a 25-year it was a weird scene. Yeah. It was weird. He takes the mask, then he uses it in the junkyard. Yeah. And then then it goes back to Laurie's house. Yes. Oh, actually, it goes to the radio station first off, which makes no goddamn sense. I don't even know why this is in there. There's a radio station.
The guy said something from the radio station to them because they were on top of the building.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was just why we didn't need that.
It's like the radio
thing was gross. It was just gross.
The radio station is playing throughout the entire film. So you see this guy, you listen to this guy. I don't know if he says anything of like wild consequence. He's just kind of like maybe filling in details here and there. But I don't know if you noticed, the girl that he kills before killing the radio station person is the girl from Joe Bob's show. You know Joe Bob Briggs? Remember I watched that? Yeah, she's from that. She's Darcy the mail girl from that show.
Yeah. Oh man.
So she's killed and he kills the radio station host. I don't know, like whatever.
I just feel like that was like an executive that was like, we need like another kills in here, if you could. And they shot the scene of them being on the thing, and then they shot the death scene. Yeah, because I think those were the only 2 shots that guy was in.
Yeah,
I don't think he was in the rest of the movie.
He does reference the radio tower sometimes, but like I don't know, it just doesn't. It doesn't really add up to much in that scene. And then he goes to Laurie's house, and Laurie has this moment where she tries to call Allison and convince her, and she doesn't call her. She's at the house and they argue. Yeah. She tells Allison that something's wrong with Corey. I see in his eyes, I see the same thing as Michael, and Allison doesn't believe it. She storms off. She comes in and she has this really elaborate moment, which I had fun with. I thought it was fun. It was a little elaborate, but she sits in her room.
Oh, yeah.
She phones in a suicide. She sets up a gun like she's going to kill herself. She has a pumpkin next to her. And then she goes to shoot herself, and there's a camera of a POV from like the hallway, and she shoots herself, and like stuff comes flying up against the wall, but if you look closely, it's just pumpkin guts. Yeah. And the POV comes into the room, and she's like, "You didn't," like she's pointing the gun at him. Yeah. And it's Corey in the mask, and she's like, "You didn't actually think I would kill myself." And she puts like 2 or 3 bullets in him. Yeah. He goes flying, and he goes landing at the bottom of the stairs, and she's like, I guess what she says to him, she's like, "You can't have her." Yeah. Allison. And so it's like Laurie was ready for her. Yeah. Sorry, for Corey to come after her. Yeah. And and then he makes a weird move where he's like, if I can't have her, then no one can, and stabs himself in the throat, because I think he hears her coming up the driveway and wants to, I guess. That
being said, he was shot 4 times.
He's dead
and fell down 2 flights of stairs. Not 2 flights of stairs. A full drop down 2 flights at least. Yeah. Maybe 3.
That's right.
A la Jeremy the Real Villain.
Yes.
And the knife was the problem.
Yeah, which is weird. He's been shot like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. At least 3.
Excuse me.
Boy.
Sorry about that. 2 or 3 times. And he's still alive. Then he stabs himself in the throat, which again, it seems a little strange, like a strange move. Allison walks in, obviously sees Laurie holding the knife. Yeah. Assumes that Laurie has stabbed Corey to death. Yeah. Laurie leaves. Sorry, not Laurie. Allison runs out. Yeah. Laurie's like starts crying and like breaking down when a moment ago she was so steely, and like it's just like this weird jump from character to like character moments to character moments. It's all like stitched together. Yep. Then she's kind of slouched in her house, and I liked this moment when the wind blows and the door creaks. Mm-hmm. She knows that Michael's here. Yeah. I always liked that. I liked that moment. When I saw it again 2 days ago, I was like, that's cool because it's subtle. Yeah. And she just knows Michael is here now. Yeah. And so she knuckles up. Michael grabs his mask. Corey's still alive. Halloween lives. And Michael kills him by breaking his neck. Yeah. I guess they don't like each other anymore after the little shoving match that they had and when he took his mask. Bully. Yeah. And now Laurie and Michael have their final sort of battle one-on-one. Does this make sense? Again, movie following its own rules. If this was the Michael from Halloween Kills, why is Michael no longer invincible? Like, he was invincible. Mm-hmm. He was beaten to death by an entire mob of people. Yeah. He was shot, stabbed, beaten. Then he got up and systematically murdered everyone around him.
I mean, he's invincible to a point. He can get knocked down. He can get slowed down. The problem is you got to keep him down. Otherwise, he's going to get back up once he gathers himself.
So you think that's what happens here? Because effectively at the end, she pins his arms down with butcher knives.
Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about his seemingly varying super strength, that's a different story.
Yes.
But I just attribute her to also have said super strength for whatever reason, because that's the only explanation that this man will not just be like, oh,
Yeah, just squish her head.
Right.
You know?
So anyways, that's kind of the suspension of disbelief that you have to be able to accept that this is a thing. But like, she takes a knife after his hands are pinned and stabs him right, like, big butcher knife all the way down to the hilt.
Yeah.
And he still gets up and tries to kill her. So the invincibility factor is still definitely there.
Yeah.
But it's just, he takes a pause. Like,
but yeah. So I get that. And if this movie has done anything, it's set up the fact that Michael is essentially depowered. Like, he is not his normal
not at
self.
his best, yes.
He's old, he's decrepit, he's wasting away, like I was saying before. And that's the stuff I like about it.
4 years can make a difference.
Yeah.
He hasn't been training. He's just been sitting in his basement, just not really working
in a
out.
Sewer, yeah. So I get that, but 35 whatever years from Halloween 1 to Halloween 2018, he's a machine, So it's just,
well,
I think it's just the varying degrees of evil. Maybe he's handed his evil off to Corey, and he's like, "Oh, I can retire now." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is, but it's inconsistent, and with the previous movie, but in this movie, the entirety of this movie, they've depowered him.
I'd say to some degree.
So when that one-on-one fight happens at the end, it's way more believable that Laurie and him are going toe-to-toe, because all they've presented in this movie is that Michael is not his old self.
Well, though, like, you think about, like, the ending of Halloween 2018, right? Like, she kind of did go toe-to-toe with him with the aid of guns and things of that nature.
Yeah, there was a lot
and, like,
going on there.
Yeah, there was definitely, like, it wasn't like, she was kind of hitting and running a lot.
Yeah, she gets thrown out of a window.
But she was definitely formidable enough to hang. Like, it wasn't just an instant kill.
But this is like one-on-one, like, for a long period of time, hand-to-hand combat, and she is not prepared. You know, she's homemaker Laurie
you know what?
now.
To your point, like, the moment when he's about to stick her hand in the thing, like,
in the
how is she fighting
processor.
that?
Yeah, the food processor. Yeah, exactly.
He didn't even need that. He could just been like, there's a lot of, like, squishing. I just feel like he's got very good grip strength.
Yeah, so And that's not my entire problem with this sequence.
Yeah.
Most of my problem with this sequence is that it's been done before.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
Oh, it's their final battle. I'm like, I saw them battle.
Yeah.
In like 2018.
Yeah.
And I really did enjoy that sequence. I liked it a lot. This was just felt like more of the same. It felt a little boring.
I disagree. I'm going to disagree with you on that because and this is what, because I didn't see the deleted or the different ending that you did for Halloween Kills, but I mean, I felt like he kills her daughter, them's fighting words,
Yep.
And in this case, it's kind of the same. Like, to me, they definitely did have their knockout fight in 2018, but this one was like, this is round 2, and this is for all the marbles.
Yeah,
this is for all of it. Yeah, because you killed her daughter. It's very personal, and then all of a sudden she starts off with her thing about showing the world the tits, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get any of that. And then they give you this, and I'm like, well, it doesn't make any fucking sense, but we got it. And it was entertaining. And that's as far as I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know?
She pins him down,
which
is interesting. She pins down one of his legs, stabs him in the arm, starts.
Yeah.
I love how she's like, oh, she like, slit his, like, did the thing where she slit his wrists. And like, watch him bleed out. And it's just like, in all of your experience, do you think that this is enough? Like, what part of you thinks that this is enough?
The wrist slit happened
watch
after
the scene from Halloween Kills again, where he gets the absolute worst fucking neighborhood watch beatdown you have ever seen. Watch that scene again and watch this, and you're like, no. What they do at the end of this movie makes 1,000% sense, and that's why I love that scene so much. We'll get there in a minute, but this is, I'm like, oh, you've just sliced, you made little itsy bitsy cuts and you cut his throat. Is that it? Really? Yeah. And then he gets back up and he starts choking her. Right? Yeah. So he's choking her and she tells him, she's like, do it. Yeah. Kill me. Cause like, and that part kind of makes sense where she's like, she's tired, of this whole thing. She's like, okay, kill me. Allison comes back, says that I won't let this happen. Thematically, this all kind of like does tie together.
Up. Yeah.
Allison saves her. By breaking his arm.
Yes.
And then...
that's when the wrist slit happens.
Yeah, wrist slit happens to that. Slit his throat. Stabs him in the chest.
A lot of cuts.
Yeah, there's a lot of, so...
Big cuts.
Yeah, so he's dead on their kitchen island.
Allegedly.
And he's like, and they say to, they're like, we have to do more.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, yeah.
That's what we're
now we're on the level here.
Yeah.
Right. So we come out and we get this, like, my favorite part is the old sheriff shows up.
Yeah.
Like, but then the fucking sheriff with the goddamn, like, cowboy hat shows up. He's like, oh, we don't really do it like this. And he rolls up. He's like, in this, you always say, like, in this town we do, or like, or now is
Today
different.
we're doing it.
Today we're doing it. So they just, when he shows up, like, where did this guy come from? Like,
he's been in 3 shots in the movie, and 2 of them were in Halloween Kills, and then that shot, and then you don't see him again. He's like, oh.
Yeah. So they take Michael, tie him to the roof of their car, and drive around. I actually do kind of like this. There is a bit of cathartic to watch the whole town. See, that's Michael Myers demasked.
Yeah.
By the way, when they take Michael Myers' mask off, I'm like, oh, David Lopan? I thought that was fucking David Lopan.
He does have that kind of puby looking beard.
He's bald, old, and he's got the pubic mustache thing going on. I expect him to be like when he gets stabbed in the chest. Like, this really pisses me off. Hi, Mr. Burton.
Huh? God, I love David Lopan.
Oh God, I couldn't stop thinking that. And
David
they don't
Lopan style. Sorry.
So they take fucking David Lopan, Michael Myers, and they parade him around town in this weird sort of funeral procession.
Yeah.
And they take him. I don't know what this thing, like a scrapper. What's this thing called? I don't know what it's called, but it's in the scrap yard. And it's a giant thing that's meant for scrapping metal. And it's these gears that are just moving together. Yeah. And they throw his body in there, and he gets fucking pureed or whatever. He's just like, in order to kill this guy, they had to fucking puree him.
Yeah.
You know?
Fit him in a can.
They put him a couple cans, and then set the cans on fire or whatever. Like, they really needed to get rid of him. I like that fact that they went that far.
Yeah. They're like, this is done.
Yeah.
When we say this ends, it ends.
It's like Halloween, Michael gets pureed. That's what this, like, he gets juiced, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of the
movie.
Is that the end? There's a shot at the end, too.
You get a little touching, like, thing of, like, let's go see those cherry blossoms. And then they go.
That's right.
Will Patton does not look good in this film. He looks very tired.
He does look tired.
Yeah, he needs a different haircut. But
they
do have that shot that they linger on the mask at the end, and then that's when the season
the title, the credit comes up.
Seasons don't fear the Reaper.
Oh, Reaper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They use the Don't Fear the Reaper at the end.
That's what it's called. The Blue Oyster Cult.
It's just very it's you've got bullies that are marching band bullies, but then you have the most obvious song in the movie. It's just like this weird mix of, like, quirk and cliche that
it's strange.
What a mixed bag this movie. I mean, mixed bag, the movie. I'd go further and say that I might watch it again later, but I don't think it's I think it's a great idea. The execution is wacky enough that it's just like not particularly entertaining.
I'd watch the end of it again, like all the way from, like, Corey donning the mask until the end of it, because I feel like that's kind of like that's where the movie was going the whole time, and you knew the movie was going there, but the twists and turns it made you go through to get there, just nothing felt organic. I'll be honest, if Michael Myers was simply just a body that Corey found in the sewer, and he picked up the mask and walked away, and Michael Myers was just dead. He found the boogeyman.
Oh, yeah.
And, he became the boogeyman because of all this shit that was happening to him, and he picked up the mask, and that's where it all started. The Allison subplot don't need at all. The romance didn't need it. It felt forced from the get-go. All the stuff that kept happening to him where people were shitting on him, nothing was subtle. It wasn't just like people turning their heads or some people just outright saying some stuff to him. Everything was just ramped, like dialed up to 11 for every single interaction. He's getting fucking beat up by the marching band. The kid's mother is there.
Yeah. Like, we didn't even talk about her, but yeah, she's
a real bitch.
Yeah, she is. Doesn't she, like, kiss him on the lips at the, like, toward the end too? It's just a weird relationship there too. Yeah.
But it's just like the movie took all of these twists and turns to try and have this thing it's trying to say about how evil infects, and that infection can spread and grow. But they're also like, you know what? Let's keep Michael Myers in here because we're a little afraid to do this without him.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that this movie would have been 1,000% better if Corey was just the leading guy. They spent more time to establish a more believable descent into his madness.
Yeah.
And left Michael out of it completely.
Yeah.
Like the trips to the sewers and the crazy homeless guy and like, give me that mask. Little wrestling. Like, we didn't need that. Either go one way or go the other. But like, if they would have started the mystery of like Michael just disappeared and the mystery ends of he just fucking died.
He just died.
He just literally got beaten to death by a mob and he skulked into a corner like a dying rodent and died. And that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Why didn't,
Because they never found his body and his specter lingers over the town.
Yeah.
They don't know where he is. Corey finds him, and then that continues the infection.
Yes,
continues.
Yeah,
I like that idea. In fact, I'd go just one step further than you were saying. Don't have the relationship with Allison. I would almost say like this is almost like have them together, but actually have them do like the Thelma Louise kind of like. Or what's the movie? Natural Born Killers, like almost thing going on.
Yeah,
where I'm like, don't have Michael in the movie. Yeah. Actually, don't have him in there at all, and have it be just the story of them two and being completely fucked up and having a town that's made them this way because of of things that were out of their control, and because the town is so traumatized and the specter still lingers, it gets transferred, and like that's such a good. Such a good idea. I see the pitch for this movie or these three movies when they put it together, fucking stunning. Like I would have been like, this is a great. This is not just a. This is a good idea. Yeah. Like to explore.
Absolutely.
And then they saw the final product. They're like, that didn't go really the way.
A fucking marching band? Are you kidding me?
That didn't really get executed the way we wanted to. But I could see that pitch, to the studio or whatever being. I can see what they saw here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like why it was greenlit. David Gordon greenlit.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'd love to see like a movie without Michael in it. Yeah. And just Corey and Allison. Yeah. Or even you were saying Allison's not in the mix, but Laurie, you kind of have to have Laurie. You have to
tie back to Laurie to some degree. And I mean, you could bring that back to them, the two of them being the two that are most traumatized coming out of it all. But like, you also don't have to have Laurie starting off as the homemaker. You could just have her be extra fucked up because of this and all of a sudden, and spots it, and then she goes after him. Yeah,
she goes after both of them.
Both of
them,
right?
Like that kind of thing. I mean, it's getting pretty dark, but like
it's more interesting. Though.
Yeah, it is
more interesting than what they did. Instead of just forcing this new character, who is thematically like it's an interesting premise, but you're also keeping like you're not letting go of they're not letting go of their moneymaker being the actual Michael Myers character. And that's just, to me, that was a mistake. As a huge Michael Myers fan.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Michael Myers. What's interesting, what you said, I was just thinking about this. Thematically, what they were saying in Halloween Kills was like, Laurie, how do you know he was after you? He was at your place because of Sartain.
Yeah.
This whole idea that he's random chaos and their connection is nothing.
Yeah.
She is not connected to. She's latched on to that idea.
Yeah.
Not him.
Yeah.
Right? So having Halloween Ends, in the first third of the movie, Corey discovering his body and him simply being dead.
Yeah.
Off camera, dead, unceremoniously dead.
Yeah.
That is I think that's a great fucking idea because that cashes in on it was never about you.
Yeah.
There was no title match. There's no big heavyweight match at the end of this. It's not about you.
Yeah.
He just died. He did his thing and he died.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about you.
Yeah.
And it's about how you're handling this the trauma you are latching on. You are looking for reasons. And then with Corey getting kind of like that, carrying the mantle and Allison getting involved, she has to get back involved because she has made it about herself.
Yeah.
Right. So I love that idea. I'd love to see. I wonder if someone could cut this movie like that. Like if there's enough like footage to actually like edit Myers out and like have him or have him choke him and die. You know, or like, you know what I mean? Like Michael die, like somehow they cut.
That would be really, really anticlimactic.
Yeah. Just having like, you know, I don't know. That's a bad idea. But like, have him get dragged into the sewer and have an edit where Michael is dead.
Yeah.
And they just don't show him for the rest of the movie.
Right.
And they, and essentially it ends when he stabs himself. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't really do it. There's not enough footage there, but like,
I see where you're going with it though.
it's just, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like that would absolutely play with me. Like I would have really liked that if I had seen that. As it is, like they've got 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in the door.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's just, and with, you know, in a marching band playing in the background. It's just, yeah. So one other thing I'll say is the score for this movie is pretty good, but I think Halloween Kills is the best of the 3.
Oh, I know. It's got my favorite song in there. I still dance to it this day. God.
And despite everything that we've said, I think all 3 of these movies look fantastic.
They are good looking.
They're good looking movies. The sound is great.
Yeah.
The audio's mixed perfectly. I like watching them in my home theater. I enjoy watching Halloween Kills a lot in my home theater. There's a lot of, it just sounds and looks really, really great.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is Halloween Ends.
It truly does end on a very strange note, but it does end.
Yes.
Until the inevitable sequel.
Well, yeah. So right now, Miramax actually got the rights for the Halloween franchise.
Really?
Yeah. So they're planning to release which is now like they're planning to release
timeline.
Dude, they're planning to release a series, and I'm like, no, I don't want a series with Michael Myers in it. I really don't.
I don't even know what that would look like.
I just don't.
care.
It's saturation's too much filler, too much. Unless I don't know. When it comes to series, I just can't like with it unless I'd rather see movies of properties that were movies. I just don't like seeing them bloated out into 10 episode series where there are entire hours of this where you're like, that just wasn't
Disney. We're talking to you. Listen, you stop doing what you're doing with Marvel
was a failed
and the fucking Star Wars. I still haven't seen Ahsoka. I really do want to see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
and trying to annoy you. To some degree.
No.
I don't know why I even apologize. We both know I'm not apologizing. All right. Well, I think we've said everything. I think it's time for this podcast to end. This podcast ends.
This podcast ends. Well, as long as none of us are getting fucking pureed.
No,
good.
Probably not.
I'm good.
No.
In the meantime, everyone, go watch Rough Tangents. It's pretty sleazy.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
It's not actually.
You might get a
movie,
good
right?
cry in too. Okay. You never know.
Yeah. Only if it's emotional. This has been Justin.
This has been Atul. Until next time.
Take it easy. Thank you for listening and watching if you're watching us.
Peace.
Bye.